your grandma have one of those old cabinets where she proudly displays her china? Well, of course, these days our home decor tends to be a little bit more minimal, and so some of those precious things are hidden away in cupboards. But what that means is that there are lots of old china cabinets that are looking for a new home. I've got the perfect solution for this space right here. I love a little bit of retro furniture, and you can often pick up a cabinet like this online or at your local op shop. And rather than let it go to landfill, I'm going to turn it into a one-of-a-kind plant stand. Now, of course, if you're growing plants in an environment like this that's closed, there'd be a lot of humidity, a lot of moisture around. So I want to get some air into here. Now, I could take these doors off, but I'm loving this detail here, so instead I'm going to remove the glass. I'm dressing the cabinet up with a little bit of spray paint. So I've just taped up and blocked out those areas where I don't want the paint to go, and I've given it a good sand back. I didn't want to get it back to the raw wood, just wanted to take that shine off, scratch it up a little bit so that paint will stick. In keeping with our retro feel, I'm using a spray paint that has a chalky finish in a charcoal colour, so we'll get a nice vintage patina. You'll need 2 coats, but it's quick drying, so it'll be done in no time. You could even sand it back to get a distressed look. While our cabinet dries, let's talk about pots. So I always think with a bespoke project like this, it's a really nice idea to personalise your pots. So I've got my hands on some plain terracotta here. Terracotta pots are cheap, easy to find, but because they're porous, I've just given them a little bit of a coat with a pot and ornament sealant first, and now I'm going to give them a whole new look with paint. Now this whole process is a little bit like cooking, so I'm going to mix 1/4 cup of bicarb of soda with 1 cup of the Chalk Effect paint. This one's a sort of a greeny grey colour. The reason I've put bicarb soda in there is to give the paint a little bit of a sort of bumpy vintage look. It sort of looks a little bit like a concrete pot. Now that our first coat is dry, on with the second coat. Now this time, I'm using a darker Chalk Effect paint with no added bicarb. So I've used a darker colour on the top so that I can sand it back a little bit and reveal that lighter colour underneath to really accentuate that aged look. When you're dressing shelves, I always think it's really nice to include some more upright plants alongside some that will cascade and tumble down those shelves. So I've got a great collection of plants here. Have a look at this one. This is a trailing Senecio, but it's called String of Dolphins. So it's succulent, so it's nice and tough, but if you look closely, the individual leaves look a little bit like a dolphin jumping out of the water. It's just so cute. And I've got another succulent beauty here. So this one, believe it or not, is actually a peperomia, but it's called Happy Bean. And if you look closely, the leaves look, again, just like a green bean. And for a bit of drama, I'm including an alocasia here. This one is called Polly. It's got these lovely elongated heart-shaped leaves with really prominent silver veins. And for an extra splash of colour, an aglaonema. Now this one is called Lady Valentine, and it's got beautiful pink running through the foliage. Our shelves are nearly ready for our plants. Now, indoor plants are tailor-made to grow in low light conditions, but if you give them bright indirect light, then all of a sudden you open up a world of planting opportunities. But you can also make it easier on plants that are growing in dark places by installing grow lights. Now, without getting too technical about it, grow lights basically emit a good spectrum of light for plants to be able to photosynthesize and grow. And there are lots of different types of grow lights. So there are grow lamps like this for individual plants, or you could get a little bit more industrial and do some tube grow lighting. But we're installing strip grow lighting, which is adhesive on the back, so you can easily stick it to the shelves. I've also installed some decorative strip lighting just to give the shelves a little bit more pizzazz. What a great way to transform a boring old cabinet into a statement piece that'll make your indoor plants shine.